upsets me more is just imagine the outcry and the uproar and the trouble that there would be if four white women, which there are regularly four white women on Loose Women, there always was, and there are sometimes now. But imagine if you just went on saying, "Oh, we're all white today. Everybody's all white. Oh, it's a white show today." You know what I mean?
I mean, imagine.
It just couldn't
Imagine.
happen. But the fact that they're allowed to go on and make a big, massive thing about the fact that, and it was like when they won the award, and it was like, we won this award, and it was basically, we won this award because we're black.
Carol McGiffin. So, Loose Women, we can't let you go without talking about Loose Women, right? Because there's this big bullying scandal that has erupted with Kaye Adams, and you've come out with quite an interesting take on that. But first, everyone's been absolutely hounding Sarah Pochen over the comments of, it's frustrating for people to just see black or Asian people on TV, given the demographics. I honestly believe Woke ITV are now trolling us, because I want to show you, they announced it on Facebook earlier, and then it did happen. This was the lineup of Loose Women today. Remembering that the population of the UK is 5% black. So 4 black women, no Asian people at all, no white people at all. And as I just said on this, but Sarah Pochen was wrong. Now, McGiff, come on. The fact that they have done it this week. Now, I know you're probably going to tell me, Loose Women panels are booked like weeks and weeks in advance or something. But to me, it feels like a provocation. It feels like they're making a point. Can you believe that more than half of you are watching this video but not subscribed? So please do me a huge favor. Click the subscribe button now. Turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to all of our brand new Outspoken videos.
Well, apparently it was for Black History Month, but it feels like it's Black History Month every month lately. I don't know. I mean, what annoys me about that is not that there are 4 black women on the panel,
No.
but the fact that they are allowed to shout about it and like it's a big thing. And okay, they'll say, well, there weren't any black women on this panel for many, many years. It was all white. And it's like, well, people were not being employed because they were black. But, I wouldn't be surprised if some people are now employed. And I'm not talking about Loose Women in particular. I'm just talking about, people do now get employed.
Oh, Carol, come on. Of course they are. Charlene White is one of the least popular presenters in the country. She went on I'm a Celebrity. I mean, sorry, you're probably now going to tell me you're friends with her or something, aren't you? And that's going to be really awkward. But she went on I'm a Celebrity. Just make the point. She went on I'm a Celebrity. She was booted out immediately because she was so disliked. She was a London newsreader. ITV have basically decided, post all of the DEI stuff, that she absolutely has to host everything. Now, that is very, very different to say a Judy Love, who is quite clearly beloved by the audience. Do you see what I mean? So,
Yeah,
but there are some people who do get hired now simply based on DEI policies at ITV. That is a fact. I mean, they told me when I was there that that's what they were starting to do.
Yeah, no, I know quite a few people who've been dumped from the BBC as well because they've insisted on having black faces on television, and the people have had to step aside because of it. There's no doubt about that. But what upsets me more is just imagine the outcry and the uproar and the trouble that there would be if 4 white women, which there are regularly 4 white women on Loose Women, there always was, and there are sometimes now. But imagine if you just went on saying, "Oh, we're all white today. Everybody's all white. Oh, it's a white show today." You know what I mean?
I mean, imagine. Imagine.
But the fact that they're allowed to go on and make a big, massive thing about the fact that, and it was like when they won the award, and it was like, we won this award, and it was basically, we won this award because we're black. And it's, Oh, of course, they entered the All Black episode, and of
That was for the
course it
BAFTAs,
won.
was it?
I don't know if it was. I thought it was
Or
the BAFTAs,
National
but
T, or
I
one
think
of
it might have been
those.
the RTS awards
RTS
or
Awards, yeah, that's
RTS
right. But one
maybe.
of those lovey awards, it was like Loose Women won an award. That was a big deal because they
Yeah,
don't usually. But the only reason the RTS actually decided to honor them was because they put in the all black panel. Now,
I didn't say that. You might say that, but I couldn't possibly say
I'm
that.
happy to say that. I'm saying that. No, I am saying that. McGiffer's not saying that. But no, look, it is an issue to me because I think the point that Sarah Pochen was making, right, was even though, the comment was taken out of context, but it was all about proportionality of what
Yeah.
diversity means, Carol. And there are people will be shocked to learn. Even people watching Outspoken will be shocked to learn that the UK population is 5% black. That is a
I thought it was
shocking,
four.
shocking
It's
figure.
four, isn't it?
Well,
Four.
I think it's I think it's around that. Yeah, maybe a little
Yeah.
over 4, but certainly not over 5%, I think, at the most recent census.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, it's not usually I agree with her, and I don't agree with her obviously calling me as a race baiter, but weird because she's the race baiter in chief. But weirdly, Narinder Kaur almost had sort of half a point today because I posted my tweet and she then came in and said Dan Wootton did his usual and criticised the brilliant all black panel on today's Loose Women. He is right, though. South Asian women are extremely unrepresented on TV. So I fixed it. So you see there, she's who's she taken off? I think it's Motsi Mabuse from
Oh, put
Strictly.
herself in it.
And she's put herself in it, which I don't know if would improve the ratings, to be honest. But is she not making a point there, Carol? Because do you know what you never see on Loose Women? An Asian person. So they had Syra Khan, right? I mean,
Yeah.
as far as I'm aware, there's no and there's more Asian people in the country. So I spoke to a Loose Woman once who said to me, their idea of what diversity is a very particular type of black woman that lives in London, and it's not diversity at all.
Yeah, I know, but really, it shouldn't matter, should it? The fact that they make a massive issue out of the fact that they've got four black women on the panel, that is the problem. Because it wouldn't happen the other way around. You know, whether you're black, Asian, or whatever, if you've got something to say and you've got a decent opinion and you can go onto a talk show that lasts for an hour and express that opinion without, and not bringing race into everything, like, some panel members are guilty of, like, everything has to be about race. It just turns out like that, and there's no need for it. It shouldn't happen, and that's what I think pisses people off. I don't think it's the fact that there are four black women. If they just happen to be four black women, so what? But it's always got to be
Apparently,
a
there
big
is
deal.
one Asian person called Sunitra Sarkar, but I mean, I've never heard of her, Carol. Do you know who she is?
Oh yeah, you know her. She's an actress. She used to be in Casualty. I think
Okay.
she's still in Casualty or
Well,
something
she's
like
certainly
that.
not on very much. And they say Myling Class too, but that's obviously she's East Asian heritage. But look, the other
Yeah.
big scandal, of course, involving Loose Women is in terms of Kaye Adams, someone who you spent years and years working with, and she is
Yeah.
absolutely livid. I think for good reason, Carol. She has been taken off air at the BBC, and she hasn't been told why or what she has apparently done. It looks to me like there's been some type of woke campaign against her. Now, you have actually defended her in your New Best magazine column this week, saying you worked with her for years and years and years, and sure, she could be a little bit annoying at times, but she's certainly not a bully. So what's going on here? But first, as we get older, you notice it. After a cold, a hard workout, even a long week, recovery just isn't as quick as it used to be, right? That bounce back factor matters. And it turns out the secret isn't luck, it's stem cells, your body's built-in repair crew. With age, that system slows down. Fewer cells, weaker signals, slower recovery. That's exactly why Qualia created Qualia Stem Cell. Think of it this way. Your cells are powerful. Qualia Stem Cell helps keep them that way. It's crafted with nature's heavy lifters, sea buckthorn royal jelly, and more to support your body's natural repair system so you can keep moving, healing, and thriving. You don't have to accept slowing down. This is about supporting better aging by reactivating the systems that help you bounce back. And it's refreshingly simple. You take it just 4 days a month. So if you've ever felt like your body just doesn't bounce back like it used to, whether it's after a tough workout, getting sick, or just the wear and tear of life, this is for you. Qualia Stem Cell was designed to support your body's natural repair systems, helping you heal, recover, and keep going strong. And right now, you can try it for up to 50% off at qualialife.com/Dan. And here's a bonus. Use the code Dan for an additional 15% off your order. So that's QUALIA life.com/Dan. Your body's built to repair itself. Qualia just helps it do it that better. And a big thanks, by the way, to Qualia for sponsoring this episode of Outspoken. But now, back to the show.
God knows. I mean, it really is disgusting that this can happen. Like, a complaint, an anonymous complaint is made about Kaye, and she is taken off. She's not told what the complaint is. There's an investigation going on, apparently. And she's just in the dark over it. But it was one day she was there, the next day she wasn't there, and she was being replaced by a 30-year-old person. And it's like, how can that just happen without any kind of justification or reason, and just destroying someone's character and reputation in a heartbeat, like in seconds, just making her disappear? And she is, of course she's livid, of course she's beside herself. I mean, I think she's been doing that job for nearly as long as she's been doing Loose Women. I think it's the best part of 20 years. I'm not sure, but I know it's a hell of a long time. And to do that show and to do it as well as she does everything well. And I don't know if it's a woke campaign, because Kaye's one of the wokest people I know. And we're still really good friends, but she is pretty bloody woke. So
what's interesting is in Scotland, of course, there's the whole other aspect which gets thrown in, which is the pro-independence aspect, the SNP, the hardcore SNP, because she's on the left and yes, she's woke, but she's anti-independence, Kaye Adams. And the suggestion was that maybe that had sparked some controversy. But the point is, we now live, there's a much wider point here, and we saw it happen to me, didn't we, Carol? We now live in a media where you are absolutely guilty, immediately an accusation is made. These staff members can say whatever the hell they want. And let's be honest, Carol, producers very often find reasons to dislike the host they're working for. Sure, some people are monsters, right? Philip Schofield, bit of a monster. But actually, a lot of times it's not that. It's just so, I don't like what's happened here. And I think, but, we saw it happen with Greg Wallace. We saw it happen with John Turturro,
But the TV world creates these monsters. Like I said in my column, they give them more and more work, and they feed their egos and give them more money, and it all just goes on and on and on. Now that can't happen. So, and then someone makes one complaint. They're happy to facilitate these people for a long, long time, but and then now they can just disappear in a puff of smoke on one complaint. But Kaye's not one of those people. She is not an egomaniac. She's not, she's not a bully. I've never seen her shout at anybody. She might give people the look, like she does. And, she can be a bit annoying sometimes because she's very persistent. Like I said, she's pedantic, she's persistent, and she's a perfectionist, but she's super professional. So there's absolutely, I dispute that allegation. She can't possibly be.
Yeah, well, you would know. I mean, you worked with, gosh, you were probably working with her for 20 years or something, right?
Yeah, I started working with her in 2000, and give or take a couple of years when I'd left and she'd left, but we've always been in contact. She is one of the few people on Loose Women that I've always been friends with. And I know
Yeah,
it's weird because she's
I
super woke and I'm
completely
not.
trust you on that, and I think it's outrageous, actually, and
So do I.
it's part of this sort of chilly new environment. But look, the great thing is, Carol, you're back on Outspoken. We love having you here, and we're going to see you again before the year is out. So it is so wonderful to have you back, McGiffin. Of course, you can read her column in Best magazine, and you've also got your brilliant podcast, Carol, which I'm sure you want to plug because I love it. You know I love it, with Nick Abbott.
Oh yeah, it's doing great guns now, Dan. It's really good. It's called What's Your Problem with Nick Abbott and Carol McGiffin. And he's another great friend of mine that I've known for 30, 40 years. And we've always been friends. And he's a worse lefty than Kaye Adams. Seriously.
Yes.
But and the podcast isn't about that though.
No.
But you know, it is brilliant. You should definitely listen.
No, it is.
You've listened to it.
Oh, I love it. It got me through lockdown, actually. I can't believe it's
Yeah.
been going that long now, but it really did. Those were very dark times, weren't they? But they're not quite so dark now in some ways. But McGiff, we're going to see you very soon. So great to have you on Outspoken. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I will reveal today's greatest Britain Union jackass in just one moment. First to your comments, though. Eleanor George, 1957, says, while elitists are screaming racism, the migrants in the UK taking hold of the UK. Wake up, Brits, before your UK is stripped of its culture. Richie Reports UK says, we can't wait for 2029. It'll be too late to save our country by then. We need an election now. And Susan Park says, it drives me mad when I go into British stores and every advert around the place is of non-white people in a town where less than 10% of the population is white. Okay, a reminder of your Union Jackass nominees. Dawn Butler, nominated by Darren Donaldson for calling Sarah Potion racist in Parliament. Sadiq Khan, nominated by It's Only Me 44 for inviting trans people to events to help those going through menopause. And Jess Phillips, nominated by Blame Game for her dire performance last week in regards to the grooming gang inquiry. Okay, the results are in. With 9% of the vote, Dawn Butler. The runner-up with 23% of the vote, Jess Phillips. But overwhelming winner of Union Jackass today with 68% of your votes, Sadiq Khan. And I love this nomination from Sarah Booth for today's Greatest Britain, Ellie Reynolds, for being brave enough to be identified, leaving the flawed grooming gangs inquiry panel, and calling out the duplicitous Jess Phillips, now appearing on live TV with Nigel Farage to explain her stance. A laser-focused lioness. And I have to say, I thought Ellie Reynolds' performance yesterday was superb. What a woman. Rising star. I could see, and I think Reform UK should try and snap her up, to be honest. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.